This is day 1, meaning that our birds are now 1 day old. We call it episode 1 of the brooder series, and welcome to this series in which we are going to be sharing our daily activities and practices as we brood these 500 local chicks until they will be 30 days. If you are interested in brooding chicken or chicks of day 1 until they are 30 days, make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell so that you are always among the first people to know each time we upload a new video. So what do we do on day 1, or what practices or what activities do we carry out that day the birds arrive on the farm? Like you can see, our birds are still packed in their boxes, and so we are going to start on the activities that one is supposed to do at this stage. So at this stage we are going to assume that you have your brooder ready, meaning that it is well set, and of course this means it is light enough, or there is enough light for the birds, and also its temperature is that suitable for brooding. Those are two very important factors that one must consider before he or she brings in the birds. Unlike for our brooder, we have light bulbs already set up to light. Then we have our brooding pots already light up, and they are always light up right before we bring in the birds, because we want the temperature to be uniform all over the room. The other two factors that one should consider are: you must make sure that the floor of the brooder is soft, and for our case we use a soft cardboard. And secondly, you must make sure that you avoid corners in your brooder. For any inquiries, use our comment section. With those 4 factors considered, you are free to introduce your birds in the brooder, and it is always a good practice that you count the birds that you were supplied, and we choose to count bird by bird. It is so absurd that we lost a few of the birds as we transport them from the supplier to this farm. However, some of the birds died even before we started the journey, meaning we found some of the birds already dead. The counting is done, and out of the 530 birds that were supplied to us, we only missed 7 birds that died along the way. Otherwise, we apologize for the poor camera lighting because it is already night here. However, we assume this is fair enough for one to observe what is taking place. So who can guess what next? And one must have, or should have, guessed glucose, and this is one other factor that you must consider: stress. So before you do anything else to the birds, we are going to feed them on glucose. This is the glucose that we always have for human consumption, and we always dissolve it in water, put it in the drinkers, and make sure that the birds feed on this glucose. Sometimes it is important that you teach these birds how to take or to drink this water, and the few that you teach the others, and it is advised that these birds consume this glucose for around 30 minutes. Within this time, we assume that almost all the birds have taken on this glucose. This glucose is intended to curb down stress, because we always assume that these birds are stressed at this stage. And it is true that at this stage there are many reasons why these birds get stressed. Guess what? After 30 minutes, it is time to feed our birds. This is the right time. You are free to give your birds any feeds. And we plan to treat our local birds in a more special way. For example, at this stage, we intend to feed our birds on broiler starter. This will enable our birds grow very fast and also avoid stunted growth that is always common in local birds. But we plan to keep changing, or we are going to formulate the feeding structure for these birds, as we are going to keep sharing in the coming series. Remember, these birds can stay for around 72 hours without feeds, so always don't be on pressure to give feeds to the birds. Take your time and follow the right steps before you provide feeds to the birds. Like you can see, they are trying to learn how to feed, and so with time they learn and take up the feeds, and then you keep giving these birds more feeds as they learn how to take them up. Here we choose to use egg trays as feeders because we feel they are suitable enough at this stage. However, one can have any other feeders or any other equipment to feed these birds. Finally, we can say that we have provided the 4 basic needs for brooding: 1. Lighting; 2. Heating; 3. Providing drinking water; 4. Which is the last one, we have provided the feeds to the birds. The rest are the practices that are important, and one of which at this stage is making sure that the birds don't pile up in one place, as they may suffocate and die. So always keep around and monitor the birds as they feed and they take water. Otherwise, this is it for episode 1, and see you in the next episode, which is going to be episode 2, in which we are also going to keep sharing our daily activities and experiences on this farm. Don't forget to subscribe and hitting that notification bell so that you are always among the first people to know each time we upload a new video. And if you have enjoyed this piece of content, like it, share it with a friend, and share your comment with us in the comments section.